While there, he began taking private flying lessons. By 1929, Greene had received his private pilot's license. Shortly thereafter, he received a limited commercial transport license, and by 1933, Greene received his commercial pilot's license, thus becoming only the second black man in the country to do so. By 1936, he was certified to teach aviation mechanics in the Boston and District of Columbia public schools. In 1940, Greene moved to Washington to organize and teach an aviation mechanics program at Phelps Vocational High School. Around the same time, Greene and other black pilots in the Washington area had organized their own aviation club, which they named the Cloud Club. In association with the Phelps aviation students and the Cloud Club, activities such as flying lessons, ground school, and mechanics were expanded to increase community interest. As a basic operation, the Cloud Club started out at Beacon Airfield in Virginia.
Mr. Greene, these are some really interesting pictures. How did Columbia Air Center come to be started?
Well, it's when I first came here about 1940, there was a flying club already in existence. They had their airplane, and they had an instructor, but he went to Tuskegee on the invitation to fly with the Air Force. And so when I came, they asked me to join them, and I did, and I thought it was a good idea. At the time, they had their aircraft over in Beacon Field. The race relationship was kind of tense at that time, and they claimed that we almost had a crash with one of his planes, which wasn't so, of course, so he asked us to leave the field. Well, to make a long story short, we flew around in an airplane until we found a suitable place that looked as though we could use it for an airport. And then we'd take the car and go down and find it. Several times places we found temporarily, but one day on Central Avenue where we were flying, a person told us that where a place was on the river to go see it. Well, we went there and we found it was just the thing we wanted, and that's how it started. Columbia started from there. The Cloud Club first had, I was with the Cloud Club then, and then eventually, if you want to know the transfer, the Navy took the field from the Cloud Club, and when it was returned back to us, Dr. Gill and I took over the field and named it Columbia, and that's the beginning of Columbia.
stars will find so many lights to love me too. Each time and sun and words of all you. Hallelujah, give me a holy. No man of your own life will be that way. Above the stars will find so many lights to love me too. Sun and sun and words of all you. Hallelujah, give me holy forever. Who else love me?
Presently, the field that was once Columbia Air Center is owned by Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. It is leased to area farmers for agricultural uses. The surrounding area where the hangars and offices were once situated are now used by the Tucson River Park staff for Boy Scout campgrounds and for park patrons. The only remnants of Columbia Air Center are a few empty cans of Esso gasoline strewn about the weeds and an old gas pump wrapped up in tree vines. The Black History Project of Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission began in 1982. It started as an intensive survey of sites significant to Black history in the county. That year, over 60 sites were identified. Since that time, the project has grown to include oral history, genealogy, special lectures, exhibits for public display, and numerous other interpretive programs. The History Division, which coordinates and supervises the project, maintains an extensive collection of data on the general history of the county. The division is the repository of archaeological, photographic, and documentary research conducted by its staff and other contributors. It offers numerous lectures, exhibits, and tours on all aspects of Prince George's County history. The objective? To document the lives and events surrounding the generations of people who have lived here and contributed to the county's growth and development. From the African slaves sold at Upper Marlboro and the European settlers to the present thriving community that now continues the tradition of generations.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.